Hi everyone, this is video 3 in our Doodle Jump Clone series. In this video we'll be creating our player's ability to bounce off platforms. If you remember in our last video, we just made him so he can move back and forth. So let's change him back to dynamic in our rigid body 2D so that he falls with gravity, and let's create a new object and we want to call that platform. And pull him off the parent of the doodle, and right now our platform has nothing, so let's give it a sprite renderer and give it a sprite so we can actually see it. Square. You can create a square if you don't have one and move it down a little. Keyboard shortcut. If you want to be able to move it around more easily without constantly going up to the corner here, you can grab the hand by hitting Q. W gives you your X and Y axis. E is rotation. And R is scale. So let's scale it up a bit and shrink it down. And let's bring the rotation back to 0. And now that we have them, let's give it like a little bit of a color. Let's turn it red. And now let's collapse that. And let's add our box collider 2D. And let's look at it for a second, make sure that it is not a trigger. It is not. And let's add a rigid body 2D. And so we have it, we want this to be kinematic so it doesn't fall. And then when we hit play, he falls on the platform and will fall off. There he goes. Fantastic. So now we want to create a script called player bounce. And let's open it up. And we want to give it a couple variables. So the first variable we're going to give it is public float bounce power. And let's set it to something like 10 from the beginning. And we want private access to our rigid body 2D. Player RB. And we also want to give it public, what else do we want? We want it to bounce. We want to be able to say public string and tag. And we want to be able to say which things it will bounce off of. So in order to do this, first thing when it comes to life, we want to say player rigid body equals get component rigid body 2D. Hit save. And then, so we have done that. And then in our, we want to get rid of the update and we want to say void on collider or collision enter 2D. And we want to access the collision 2D object. And in that we want to say if other dot transform dot compare tag equals our tag that we want it to bounce off of, that we want him to bounce off of, then we want to say player RB dot add force, and we want to say new vector 2, and we want to say, so we want its x to be 0, we don't want to add anything, and we want the other one to be bounce power, and that should send our guy flying into the air. So let's hit save, go back to our screen, and add our character player jump, player bounce, and we want to say which tag. So right now our platform is untagged. So let's make it a platform. And if you want to add a tag, you go here, you say a new tag, like that. So on platform, we have platforms, select platforms, and so let's add platforms here, hit save, and let's see what happens. Nothing. Okay, that's fine enough. Let's see, he's platforms. Doodle is at the player bounce script. On collision, enter 2D. This could be something wrong with this. So let's hit save there, because you see here this is capital, this wasn't capital. So let's check it out now. And he still didn't bounce. So let's see, we have player RB add force. Let's go for a reference. Add force. Oh, we want to say force mode. So force mode. (2D), and we want it to be impulse because we want it to bounce. So let's see what happens now. And there we have it. He's bouncing up and down. We can increase his mass so he doesn't bounce as high. We can increase the gravity, and then we can double the bounce power so that it bounces more like a, I don't know, so the gravity is like a little bit more realistic. Let's see here. For some reason it dropped when I hit it at 30. Let's do 30 now. Oh, there we go. Nice and bouncing high. See him when he comes down. Oh, he's not going to come down for a while because this has got to go up. This has got to go up. Oh, and I like that now. So now if I go left and right, he'll bounce to the left and the right. And off he went. Alright, in the next video we'll be adding I'm going to be adding additional platforms. So I'll look forward to seeing the next video. If you have any comments, put them in the comments below. If you have any questions, and that's it.